you've just completed your tracks, but it just sounds really cluttered. But you don't want to take anything out because you know it needs to be there, so we're going to have to give it space. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to space out your sounds so every sound flourishes and it doesn't sound cluttered in the mix. So I post about music production tips and tricks on a regular basis, so if that's something you're into, please hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever I release a new video. So let's jump into Ableton and get started. So panning is a great way of giving elements in your track space, but it also mixes it up and makes it more interesting for the listener. So panning a drum fill is something that you could do, reason because it's when it hits, it could hit in the right ear and then make its way over to the left ear, and it just sounds more exciting. So this is what it sounds like in the center of the mix. So it sounds okay, but I could make that more exciting by panning. So what I'm going to do is pan, start at the right, so it starts in the right ear and makes its way over to the left ear, so it sounds something like this. So for certain elements, panning is about giving them space. So for example, I have this reversed vocal, which I bring in every 8 bars. It sounds like this. Here's what it sounds like with everything else. So what I'm going to do to give it space is pan it to the left and the right. I'm going to automate the panning, so the first vocal reverse is going to pan hard to the right and the other one's going to go to the left. So this is what it sounds like on its own. And this is what it sounds like all together. Quite subtle, but it adds some nice movement there. Something else you could pan to give it space is a riser, or anything you're using to introduce a new section of the song. Just for example, I've got this piano reverse here. So at the moment it's in the center of the mix, so it doesn't quite stand out as much as it should. So what I'm going to do is pan it to give it some space. So this is what it sounds like when it's panned from right to left. And this is what it sounds like with all the rest of the elements. I've got my main vocal in the center of the mix, but at the end of every 8 bar or so, I've got a delayed vocal chop, which at the moment is in the center of the mix, but I think if we can pan it, it will make it sound more interesting. At the moment, this is what it sounds like in the center of the mix. Sounds okay, but if I pan that to the left, so using my automation tool again, let's see how it sounds. Doesn't sound bad. What if I start it in the left and then pan it to the right? Let's hear how that sounds. That's added a lot of movement to that, and that sounds really good. So yeah, very happy with that. So one thing I love to use to fit in a sound is a stereo imager. So basically what this does is just makes the sound a lot wider, so it takes out the center of the mix and literally just spreads it. And I'm going to use it for this pad here. So this is what the pad sounds like on its own. Nice dreamy liquid pad. However, in the mix, can't really hear it because there's a string there, there's a vocal there. What I'm going to do is use the Ozone Imager 2. This is a free plugin. Love to use it though. So if you haven't got it, go get it. So I'm literally going to stick the width onto 100 so it spreads the sound out. And as you can see from the diagram, really spaced out the sound there. And this is what it sounds like with the rest of the song. Cool, I can hear that a lot more clearly now. Bonus tip, I usually use this on pianos, but you could also use it for a pad. is something called the house effect. So basically what the house effect is one sound followed by the other. The one that comes second is the delayed sound. However, because it's below 40 milliseconds, the human ear perceives it as one sound, making it a lot larger. So how we do that is come to your audio effects and click on an audio effect rack. You're going to create 2 chains. You're going to pan one all the way to the left, and you're going to pan one all the way to the right. And you want to add a delay to one of them. Doesn't matter which one, as long as it's one of them. And like I said, if it's below 40 milliseconds, the human ear sees it as one sound. So I'm going to put it down and feedback down, dry wet up. So this is what it sounds like without. So with it, you see it gives it a bit of a push, makes it sound a bit larger, gives it a bit more oomph. So when we put it back with the rest of the track. Cool, and now that pad's popping a little bit more. So thanks very much for watching. If you want to learn how to make awesome transitions for your tracks, watch this video next. Have a great week making bangers, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Peace.